When I was young, I grew up in a family we were all happy. Me, my mom, my dad, and my 3 older brothers. Well, at a young age, my dad became a pretty bad alcoholic. He went from drinking only on the weekends to drinking like every night. He got worse and worse and worse, and then he became this verbal, violent drunk, where he was yelling at my mom and yelling at us. And so my mom, her way of getting away from everything, she went and picked up more shifts at work just so she can always get away from it. And my oldest brother, his way of getting away from it, he left for the military. And my other brother, he stayed after school and went to his friend's house that he went to school with. And my other brother, he went and done his own thing. And it kind of left me, the youngest brother, with nobody. Like all the people I looked up to just slowly went their own ways or falling apart to alcohol. So I went out and I found some friends that's around the neighborhood, and in the neighborhood that I lived in wasn't that great of a neighborhood. So the kids I started hanging out with, they were alcoholics and they smoked weed and disrespected their parents, and so that's what I become immune to. I started smoking weed and doing drugs and drinking alcohol, and eventually it led to me getting arrested a lot and always leaving my mom stressed out and not knowing where I was at, or she would get a call from the jail at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to come get me because I did something to somebody or vandalized something. So I just kind of got worse. I become this horrible kid and disrespected my parents and disrespected everybody because I didn't care about nobody's feelings. All I cared about was where I was going to get my next beer at, or where I was going to get my next joint or next drugs. Well, eventually, when I turned 17, my dad passed away. He died of a heart attack, and that crushed me. And at that point, I was already immune to the drugs and alcohol and all that, and that was always my escape route. It was bondages just holding me down, weighing me down, and all I knew how to do was to drink it away or get high to numb out all the pain. So I just got worse. I always staying drunk and high, and I didn't care about nobody. I didn't care about nothing, nor my own life. Well, one night I was at the tattoo shop where I worked at, and these people from Relentless came in, and they started witnessing to me about God and about heaven, and they were telling me that Jesus forgives me for everything I do. And at the time, I didn't really believe that because I felt too messed up to go to heaven. I felt like everything in my life that I ever did, I was too far gone. So I didn't really take in nothing they said. I didn't know what to believe at the time. I was confused. Well, that following weekend, I ended up going to my first Relentless event called Crazy Faith. And that night, just the presence of God was there. And He took complete control of my life, and I couldn't resist it. And I had complete confirmation that night that everything I ever did was forgiven. So that night, I went up to the front. Before the message was even done, before anybody else stood up, I went up to the front and gave my life to God. And that night I feel like He set me free from all the pain and all the hurt in my life. Everything that I ever did to anybody, He took the chains off that was holding me down, and He set me free.